Hello everybody, and welcome to the channel, welcome here to the video. Yes, welcome here to Sports Talk Now, representing the Milwaukee Bucks. They lost tonight, down 0-2. This is a Ray Allen jersey. Ray Allen. Bucks, one of the best of Bucks history. Brock Lesnar thing. But anyways, yeah, I want to talk about the NFL season, talk about all 32 next week. Next week already. 1 week away. Well, technically it'll be exactly 1 week tomorrow. The NFL season starts. So next week, on this very day here on Wednesday, I'll be doing Talking Packers with Steve. Welcome here to the podcast. Welcome back. We are here for our 7th season, I believe, overall. But yeah, we'll be starting with week 1 next week, talking about that. Hopefully have some great guests. People want to join in. Maybe people will join in with live. I will be doing the show earlier than the time it is right now, but still next Wednesday I will be doing that. Football. But for whoever's watching live, welcome to stay here. I'm wearing the hats here with my hair actually cut. But anyways, yeah, we'll kind of go. But all in all, definitely look forward to seeing how the season goes for our team in the NFL. Hopefully, kind of to say improving much compared to last season, but we'll certainly see for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think we're to do well, but who knows, right? Only time will tell. Sorry, I'm just trying to get seated here. But only time will tell. And hopefully, we'll be definitely winning games and doing well. And I mean, come on now, try to win another one of these. But the point is the Packers do well, and go from there. But all in all, forward to seeing how that all goes in that regard. I'm sure it'll go just fine. Just kind of write it out, right? But all right, we'll talk about all the teams. Talk about how I think the team games or the season will go for all of them. In that regard, records will go by each conference. Happy at least that the NFL is moving on forward on regularly scheduled programming, unlike NCAA and some conferences, but BYB, Big Ten. But anyways, looking forward to the season. Looking forward to it being on time. Looking forward to the Packers and see how we do. Still treating it like a regular season because it still is. We're still gonna have all the games. I think also this year, since that's on the back burner of COVID and other serious topics, the NFL did approve and not to have an extra team in the playoffs for each conference. So we do add more people there. Soon we'll add another game to the season next season, I believe. So that's next year. Back when we have fans in the stands, I would hope everything has calmed down, right? So, sorry, just looking at something. But anyways, let's get to the predictions, and we'll start with. We'll just start with here with my notes. Like I said, I have everything, but here we go. The 2020 NFL season is going to be interesting moving forward. You're going to be bringing more predictability to the unpredictableness, upgrading the final records of every team here in the league, as I will do in this very episode. An unusual year of change with a virtual off-season and a vacant preseason. In some ways, it's more difficult to project what team will make the playoffs and what team won't. But that's what I'm here to do. Predict it all. But then again, in a year when the COVID-19 pandemic is forcing the NFL to adapt to new procedures, it might favor the teams who are most established, with the best ability to adjust in the predicament that we are in. For the predictors, there's less second guessing. What the adds up to is a fine blend of familiar and fresh teams making the tournament explore Super Bowl 65. There's one more curveball, the league expanding the playoff field from 12 to 14. As I said, 2 more teams, one more for each conference. With 7 teams each from the AFC and NFC instead of 6, with only the number 1 seed carrying the home field advantage edge. That's fully importante to know indeed. Also getting the advantage of a bye, the division and wildcard races will get a little wilder. But I'm looking forward to seeing how that all pans out. I too didn't love a little chaos. Hashtag Discord. Hashtag MLP if I am. But here's our sport. But here is all, here's in the sporting world. You may see the order finish in all 8 NFL divisions in the playoffs, resulting leading up to a final, an official Super Bowl pick as of this very day. Sorry, I'm trying to find my. Sorry about that. Alright, the AFC East in first place. Talking about the Buffalo Bills, 10-6. The New England Patriots, second place, 9-7. The Miami Dolphins, third place, 4-12. And in fourth place, the New York Football Jets, 3-13. The Bills rewarded Scott. Why did I put Scott? Sean McDermott. The Bills rewarded Sean McDermott for strong work with a defensive-minded team and their now bigger offensive expectations with quarterback Josh Allen going into his third season with a new number 1 wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, brought over from the Minnesota Vikings. Now, examining both sides of the ball, the Bills have the fewest questions of any roster in the division. Everything is right in front of them to evaluate strongly and to elevate themselves from a wild card status and to throw the Tom Brady-less Patriots off the mantle there of the division and see what they can and how far they can soar and fly in the playoffs. The Patriots, on the other hand, beyond Brady, also lost a lot of defensive players. Still don't know where. Still don't know whether Jarrett Stidham or Cam Newton will replace Brady. But this is Bill Belichick, who still has a deep secondary to lift the defense and the blockers and running backs to pound out a complementary offense to help out. Belichick's new coaching mission will be helping his team to grind out enough wins to simply make the playoffs. The Dolphins spent a lot of money trying to accelerate their rebuild and have Tua Tagovailoa as their near future franchise quarterback. And of course, their future franchise quarterback. Brian Flores' team might have to take a one-game step at a time approach, but however, before turning the corner to realize a brighter future, getting out of the last place is just as important. So then why are the Jets dropping the last? I mean, do you really believe Adam Gase is running an offensive way with his guys who yield much better results with Sam Darnold? Do we trust anything that they have defensively under Greg Williams without Jamal Adams? Donald may have saved some face for them, but they're really not that good overall in relation to the other three teams. Now to the AFC North. First place, the Baltimore Ravens, 11-5. Second place, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 10-6. Third place, Cleveland Browns, 8-8. Fourth place, Cincinnati Bengals, 6-10. Hold on here. All right, sorry, I just want to make sure there. The Ravens lost only vital player, the offseason right guard Marshall Yonda, to retirement. They reinforced their running game with J.K. Dobbins and got more explosive options for the passing game, which is good extra support for the reigning and defending MVP dual threat quarterback Lamar Jackson. They also continued reshuffling the defense to an improved front seven. It won't be that easy to win the division, but I still see the Ravens enjoying a comfortable repeat as the champions of the AFC North. The Steelers somehow managed to get it to 8-8 without Ben Roethlisberger because of their elite defense led by T.J. Watt and the number one pass rush, even with some running back, wide receiver, and tight end personnel issues to iron out. They should feel confident that they can get at least 2 games better with Ben to make the playoffs. So the time with Mike Tomlin, we'll have to wait and see on that. But anyway, watch out for the Browns, becoming the third playoff representative from the division. Even with a 500 record, Kevin Stefanski's offensive scheme and influence will be huge on Baker Mayfield, and still having a more diverse, balanced, and explosive attack. Defensively, with Myles Garrett up front and improved secondary, Cleveland could find enough complementary success. The Bengals will compete harder with Joe Burrow to make this division arguably the best in the NFL. He's that good of a number one overall pick to build on his historic passing season at LSU and an offense tailored to his strengths. Cincinnati also invested to improve the defense, but that will remain its key liability for now moving forward. Sorry, I look more. I was going to say my notes. AFC South, first place. The Houston Texans, 9-7. Second place, Indianapolis Colts, 8-8. Third place, Tennessee Titans, 7-9. Fourth place, Jacksonville Jaguars, 4-12. This division is tricky. The Texans have won 2 consecutive titles, but have seen the 2 runner-ups, the Colts and the Texans, go farther in the playoffs in both years. This year, there's room for only one playoff team from this weak division. Deshaun Watson is the biggest reason Houston is the pick for a 3-peat, despite being offensively challenged and offensive change minus DeAndre Hopkins and the defense breaking down behind J.J. Watt. Watson remains the biggest game-changing QB in the division, but meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts are hoping they can revive Philip Rivers' career with Frank Reich to better complement their run-heavy approach, backed by a solid playmaking defense that now has DeForest Buckner at helm. But it's hard to buy too much into Rivers with some key skill change around him for now. The Titans went to the AFC title game with Ryan Tannehill and have their own good run-heavy formula for success with Derrick Henry. But even with A.J. Brown, they seem rather limited in the passing game, and their defense overachieved under Mike Vrabel in their surprise run last season. There's bound to be a mild regression out of the playoffs, and they seem like they're going to be the team on the outside looking in that was inside looking out last season. The Jacksonville Jaguars are seeing more of what Gardner Minshew can do and have loaded up with some more gifted skill players and a better West Coast offensive attack. Their kitchen and Jay Gruden. The big questions What kind of support will they get from Leonard Fournette in the running game? Then again, as we just reported, Leonard Fournette going to the Jaguars. But all in all, I see the Jaguars struggling overall, no matter if Leonard's going to be there or not. But hopefully they can turn it around. AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs 12-4, Los Angeles Chargers 7-9, Denver Broncos 7-9, and Las Vegas Raiders 4-12. The Chiefs won Super Bowl 54 and were able to avoid major personnel losses, paying Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and Travis Kelce in the process. They're pretty much the team that finished last season on top of the world. Only was rookie client Edwards-Helaire replacing Damian Williams with no drive up front. They remain a strong favorite to repeat in the AFC, despite the Ravens remaining on their heels. But for this division, I see it as a runaway. The Chargers are about to rebuild with how much talent they have on defense, and Tyrod Taylor restoring some stability to the offense after Rivers' shaky final season with the franchise. Taylor can help with their big playmakers shine on one side. Joey Bosa, Ingo, KJ Hayward, and Derwin James now get help with and from Lambo Joseph, Kenneth Murray, and Chris Harris Jr. on defense. One of two frustrating games for Anthony Lynn's team just keeps them out of the playoffs. There's plenty of buzz around Drew Lock of the Broncos after they changed up their offense to Pat Shurmur's and brought in a slew of extra playmakers led by Melvin Gordon in the backfield and rookie receivers Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. But Lock and the rest will take some lumps in the adjustment, while Vic Fangio's defense has a few more concerns around Von Miller. The Raiders want to live up to expectations and live it up in Las Vegas. But the relocation doesn't make them much better from 2020. And even the match with the two other second and last place teams, they have more offensive pop around Derek Carr, and the defense will be much better covering ground with Corey Littleton and Nick Kowalski, anchoring linebacker. But again, with the Chargers and Broncos having the same uptick and same challenges on the schedule behind the Chiefs, it points to the Raiders finishing in a dead heap, but stealing and losing and being in last place this season. Now we go to the mighty NFC. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right. NFC East, first place, Philadelphia Eagles 11-5, Dallas Cowboys 10-6, New York Giants 6-10, and the Washington Football Team 3-13. Excuse me. The Eagles and Cowboys limped in the division race last season. The Eagles overcame injuries to win, while the Cowboys couldn't put enough together to scratch out a wild card in a top-heavy NFC. The Eagles can trust Carson Wentz to stay healthy and have more depth and youthful explosiveness around him. The Cowboys can remain prolific offensively with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, and be more aggressive to make plays and do defense. This year, though, there are room for both teams in the playoffs in a more successful battle that's just as tight as last season. The Giants have some promise with Daniel Jones, but they are faced with a brutal schedule beyond facing the Eagles and the Cowboys twice each season. They're another team who's been to a great defense, but it's still with some transition concerns. With Jason Garrett taking over as offensive coordinator, the tempo and game plans under new coach Joe Judge will be vastly different from Shermer, of course. But certainly it'll be interesting to see how the Giants do in regards to this new season. It's crazy season. Washington doesn't have a team name or a chance to be all that competitive in the division with Ron Rivera revamping the defense and Dwayne Haskins adjusting to a new offense. Rivera's first job is cleaning up an organizational mess before he turns more attention to real improvements on the field in 2021. But on the bright side, though, they can dominate the station to land Trevor Lawrence. The mighty NFC North. Alright, well, this one you can see the hat back on. And alright. Minnesota Vikings 10-6, Green Bay Packers 9-7, Chicago Bears 7-9, and Detroit Lions 5-11. The Vikings lost to the Packers twice last season to deny themselves a division crown, something they will enjoy for the first time in 3 seasons under Mike Zimmer here this season. They have found the ideal run-heavy offense for beloved Dalvin Cook to get the best passing from Kirk Cousins. They lost a lot of familiarity in the secondary and up front, but their investment in defense depth will pay off in the end as another strong complementary unit. The Packers, for game regression, is geared to their over from last season and facing a tougher schedule this season. Matt LaFleur's offense identity with Aaron Rodgers won't catch up on anyone, and the Packers didn't improve as much as they needed to in helping Rodgers. In fact, our team decided to draft a quarterback in the first round. The defense will still be the backbone, but the edges of their front three in the middle are a concern. The Bears are a mess, right from the top, with their uninspiring quarterback competition between Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. The jury's still out on Matt Nagy maximizing the playmaking from the rest of the offense. Defensively losing Eddie Goldman hurts, and there remains liability in the secondary. There will be room for only the Vikings in the playoffs, of course. The Lions are under pressure to come through for coach Matt Patricia and Buckman. And given all their aggressive scheming and spending, they should have some better results in the running game with rookie DeAndre Swift and passing with rookie Jeffrey Okudah to Iowa Stafford. But in this top-heavy division, it won't add up to enough wins to save Patricia's job. But we shall see. The NFC South. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 12-4. New Orleans Saints 9-7. The Atlanta Falcons 8-8. The Carolina Panthers 5-11. Alright, here we go. Tom Brady gets this week revenge and leading the Buccaneers to a 5-game improvement and the division title. It's not simply Brady magic. The Bucs are loaded with more in the passing game with Rob Gronkowski returning number one run defense with Calvin Katsu, and a moving pass rush led by Shaquille Barrett. Also, don't forget, as they reported, the Buccaneers now add Leonard Fournette to their offensive prowess. That's probably their number one running back. Chris Allen has guided multiple teams to the playoffs before and will make the right adjustments to lift Brady into another postseason, for sure. The Saints' run in the division title may end at 3, but they're too talented and too motivated in what could be Drew Brees' final season to be denied when McCracken second Super Bowl with him and Sean Payton. The offense will be more dynamic with Emmanuel Sanders and a healthy Alvin Kamara. The defense remains sturdy with Cameron Jordan, Mar Davis, and a strong secondary. The Saints regressed to their record from 3 years ago, but are still tournament with the Buccaneers. But we shall see. The Falcons have faith in Dan Quinn, and he's a well-organized coach who can help them get more out of their defense. The offense needs more real balance versus their cutters pass happy weights for Matt Ryan. Something they need to get with better run blocking and running up Todd Gurley. Atlanta has a feel of a classic up and down team, now dealing with two better all-around powers in its own division. They may have improved, but this division has also strengthened overall. The Packers found a good Cam Newton replacement in Teddy Bridgewater. And there is optimism about the leadership and scheming of Matt Rule, Joe Brady, and Phil Shaw. But with familiars such as Newton Olsen, Khalil Kuechly, Davis, Peppers, and Brandenburg, or Bradbury all long gone, they are asking for the superstar power of Christian McCaffrey to carry a lot in the new offense. That's before getting a new look, rebuilding defense that will take more lumps and make big plays. Unfortunately, what I see. All right, the NFC West. Hold on. Seattle Seahawks 12-4. San Francisco 49ers 9-7. Los Angeles Rams 8-8. Arizona Cardinals 7-9. The Seahawks were on the brink of beating out the 49ers for the division title and better playoff position in 2019. They finished the job in 2020, as I see, with Russell Wilson further raising his game with Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and now he can he can lean on the mighty power running once he had with Marshawn Lynch and Elvis back again without Lynch. They can pound it and throw the tape down at a high level offensively. And with the linebackers and secondary are starting to have the whole Legion of Boom look defensively for Pete Carroll will help as well. The 49ers will have a mild Super Bowl hangover and sliding 4 games down, but staying in NFC playoff position. They will recover nicely from trading Buccaneer defensively and also replacing Sanders offensively with a reliable formula for Robert Season and Kyle Shanahan. They don't have many personnel changes or any scheme or schematic ones, but there's enough to allow the Seahawks to overtake them. To me. The Rams always are dangerous because of Sean McVay's coaching and their Super Bowl experience. But now he must operate this offense without Todd Gurley and Brandon Cooks, trying to find the sources of explosiveness to boost a level off Jared Goff, and defensively in between Aaron Donald and Jim Ramsey. There's enough issues to limit LA to a 500 record. The Arizona Cardinals might be a stronger playoff contender in any division, but the NFC West can claim the title for the best in the NFC North. Tom Murley and Cliff Kingsbury are the headliners of their year two offensive related buzz with help from House. But the upgrades defensively led by Isaiah Simmons are also promising for sure, and I hope they do really well. But I would be surprised no one of the four teams to tied around 10 or 9 wins in order to finish shuffling away other possible ways, but I just see them being able to be together here in this year, maybe next. So AFC Playoff Prediction, wildcard round, we have number 2 Ravens. I have defeating this number 7 Browns, number 5 Steelers over the number 4 Texans, number 6 Patriots over the number 3 Bills. Divisional round, the number 1 Chiefs over the number 6 Patriots, number 2 Ravens over the number 5 Steelers, and the UFC title game, number 1 Chiefs over the number 2 Ravens. The Patriots can get back in because of Belichick's great coaching and adjust. While Stefanski's strong, Mayfield whispering into the short, stint in the tournament and in the playoffs. But while John Harbaugh and Jackson foil the divisional rivals, the Bills get shocked when the Patriots take match in the playoffs, with Stidham or Newton not playing Allen. Steelers simply will deliver on the road as well, as much better defensive team than the Texans. Belichick's fun, though, will end when his team can't score enough against Mahomes and the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Steelers will give the Ravens another typical division dogfight, but Harbaugh gets the better of Tomlin with Jackson's leg, far better than Roethlisberger's arm. Then comes the AFC Championship game matchup. One was the night last season, Mahomes vs. Jackson. It was the potential of no loud home crowd. Mahomes rewards the Chiefs for rewarding him with a return trip to the Super Bowl. Well, let's see how everything plays out in the NFC Playoff Predictions as I see fit. As I see fit to happen. Wild card, you have the number 2 Buccaneers defeating the number 7 49ers. Number 6 Cowboys over the number 3 Eagles. Number 5 Saints over the number 4 Vikings. Divisional round, the number 2 Buccaneers over the number 5 Saints. Number 1 Seahawks over the number 6 Cowboys. And in the NFC Championship game, the number 2 Buccaneers over the number 1 Seahawks. And yes, no Packers in the playoffs. Doesn't get much more dramatic than Brady outdueling Jimmy Garoppolo will take down the reigning NFC champs. Far away in the other bay, the Cowboys get the last laugh on the Eagles. When it counts more than Prescott edging Wentz in the classic match. The Saints ran out by exacting overdue revenge on the Minnesota Vikings for both the Minneapolis Miracle and last year's big wildcard upset. Brady and the Bucks fall in New Orleans in week 1, but they will take the next 2 in Tampa, and Brady managed to ring the quarterback theme of the playoffs continue with Wilson and Prescott as the Bears record points. Brady and Wilson will meet again with an NFC title on the line after their classic Super Bowl. And the Hall of Fame quarterbacks give us one more special passing treat before Brady defeats Wilson again. And Arians beating Carroll again. We got Super Bowl 55, the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Brady against Mahomes. I give the Buccaneers over the Chiefs. You know, in a quarterback league, Mahomes versus Brady, that's kind of as good as it gets. I mean, Brady is one of the best ever, and Mahomes is a young and coming stud. But this Buccaneer team, I think overall is the overall match better, and will be able to defeat the Chiefs just like a Patriots team has in the past. They'll just be able to outscore the Chiefs. The Chiefs will keep it close, but I don't see this being anything more than a shootout. Brady just getting the best of Mahomes in the end. Brady winning another title? I see it happening. Mahomes, a dynasty will not start yet. Or maybe not even at all. But yeah, that's my predictions of all the teams and the playoffs all the way up to the Super Bowl. Yes, I don't have the Packers in the Super Bowl, but I hope they do well. I hope maybe, obviously, I'll cheer on them and hope they win the division. Hopefully, the Milwaukee Bucks can come back from a 2-0 deficit against the Miami Heat and have a chance to win the NBA title in the bubble there in Orlando, Florida. But we'll certainly see how everything happens and goes down in the NFL. Go Pack Go, of course. But you're otherwise welcome to leave a comment section below how you think your team's gonna do, how you think of my prediction, and all that jazz. Yeah, excuse me. But yeah, next week we start the season. Next week, the show comes back and it will be on weekly, on Wednesdays, hopefully. Of course, will have to be Wednesdays because the first game of the week is Thursday. So on Wednesday nights, if not Thursday morning and afternoons by myself, of course, probably. people will be at work. But hey, go Pack, go. Let's go. Get another championship. But, me being honest with myself, I don't see the Packers being in the playoffs, so there you go. Anyways, hope you all have a great rest of your evening, rest of your day. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not yet subscribed, greatly appreciate that for sure. I hope you're understanding most of this video. And above all, as always, take care.